We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Tennessee Titans. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Now, Dion Lewis to return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Detroit!
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On second down, here's Henry. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Fernandez. Open man is Tanner. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 46. Now a handoff to Henry. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Again to Henry. Got some real estate inside the 30. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Titans have taken a first-quarter lead. Extra point put through by Succop, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing Jones. Flushed out right. Space to maneuver at the 40. And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. Ronald Jones, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Sturgis for the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2.
Tiger. We got three, fellas. We got 3. Flag 99, Philly.
They'll try and run it here. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. So what do you think the mindset was there? You can tie it with a PAT here first half. Why go for the lead right now?
The old school mindset says if you have a better team, you just go ahead and continue to try and dominate. There's also a school of thought, if you don't think you're quite as good, you have to try and take advantage of opportunities. And finally, I just think this is analytics coming into the game. Someone saying the more you go for 2, the better your chances are of actually getting them.
The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Looking to throw on second down. Fernandez. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
To the right side, complete to Taylor. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 16 yards there, a Tennessee first down. A first down carry for Henry. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he finds Corey Davis. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. His first catch, good for 9 in the first down. Derrick Henry. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Patriot! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, Fernandez. Going underneath for Lewis. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll run with Henry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun, Fernandez. And he's able to find Diggs. First grab so far for Diggs. It's a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. To throw on second down, Fernandez. And his throw is incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Forced out to his left. And that is caught by Davis for a Tennessee touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Succa. And the lead is up to 8. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. They'll wind up losing 11 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Through an opening, and there he goes. And all the way down inside the 25 before he gets out of bounds. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
And he gets up near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for 4th down. To punt it away on 4th down, here's Drew Kaiser. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
On 1st and 10, Fernandez. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love. At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 40. To throw is Watson. He's going to air one out. And this is taken in at the 5. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Watson. His throw incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Come back. Tiger. Come back.
Now it's Watson. Buying time to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And he cuts it back right, and he's got a crease. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big run there, 29 yards and a 1st. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And they'll get him down here at about the 42. A good productive run there on 1st down. He winds up getting 8.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
After the run, Watson going to throw. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? They'll run it now out of the gun. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. On first down, it's Watson going for it all. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Back to throw, Watson. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. They go play action here on first down. And he fends him off. Steps away to his left. Being chased out left. And he whips that one incomplete there. Will Fuller was the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. To the air yet again. Watson sliding out of the pocket. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Tennessee after this. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long after that sack. What does Watson have in his arsenal? And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th. That's going to set him back 5 yards. So here's the kicker, Caleb Sturgis, on to try the field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Leopard!
Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Looking to throw. Fernandez. It's complete to Diggs. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well. Back to throw. Fernandez. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Gone!
From the gun, Fernandez. And he's going to go down again. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Henry. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here first and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Dancing to his left. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. So we've reached halftime here in Nashville, the Music City, with the Titans out in front. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, we do. We'll see if they can pick it up. On first and 10, Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fuller. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And that might be Titan football. It is. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Back to throw now on second and 10. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, second and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw. Fernandez. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down. The Titans on third down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is third and 8. Operating from the gun. Fernandez. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Well, looking at it from the defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. And here comes the Texans now. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive, a little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Now Watson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
For one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Now this time he'll look to throw. Oh, and he'll just get rid of this one deep. And got his man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Watson on 1st down. To the right side to Eric Ebron. Touchdown, Houston. Eric Ebron, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from taking the lead. Sturgis adds the PAT, and that will put them on top here in the 3rd. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Gone!
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Fernandez. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking to find some space for Dion Lewis there. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
A little too much oomph. Too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
I would dare say that these guys will have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. Touchdown, Houston. Ronald Jones with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And this is no good. It's a missed extra point. Boy, in a tight game, how important might that turn out to be here as the second half rolls along? Sturgis out now to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Titans getting set to go. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll start things on 1st down with Dion Lewis. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Back to throw. Fernandez. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Here's Watson. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all, and you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Come back, come back. Tiger, tiger, tiger.
Watson off play action, letting one go deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Dane Cruikshank. And he is all the way up past the 25. Cooper was the target there. He has just been alone for opposing offenses to account for now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
But it was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. The Titans on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Gun.
From the gun, Fernandez. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get him to 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Oh, he nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Reset. Richmond.
On 1st down, Watson under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. The give is to Jones. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
They give it off here to the tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop his shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, push their backs clearly against the wall.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Out come the Titans now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
On 1st down, Fernandez. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up second and 10. Back to the air on second down. Fernandez. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Titans. Stephon Diggs with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Titans have made this a one-score game. Extra point put through by Succop. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now Jones. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. So the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that. Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. Watson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10. The 20. Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39. He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be second and goal.
Oh, Brandon, I'm going to tell you, this is football time to me. They're inside the 10-yard line. That's like drawing the line in the sand. Who's going to make the stand here? Defensive guys, they know.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Ronald Jones with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Texans will extend their lead. And he's able to put it through. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And here's Lewis. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, second and 10. Throwing again. Fernandez. He finds Taylor, complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A gain of 32 that time. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Looking to throw. Fernandez. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off inside the 5, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
Got some space here. A big run there by Jones. 48 yards on the ground. And that run has to be so deflating for the defense. They needed the stop. That might put the icing on the cake.
Perfect word for it, because when an offense grinds a defense down and kind of takes their heart from them, and you see them start to sag, no better feeling for the team running the football.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. A lot of bulk out there, as you might expect, on that D-line to try to stop the run on 2nd down. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And incomplete here. So a little razzle-dazzle on that one. But they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target. And it's 3rd down. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, one thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw again. Fernandez. And complete to the tight end Walker, right side. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Back to throw. Fernandez under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks and the speed and quickness of that defensive line.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.